I want to tell you a little story about one of my coaching students. So I was teaching him in a group setting coaching program, and his name is Fred. So Fred was a guy who had a part-time job. He was a part-time agent, and he was driving a semi-truck, and he was the guy that would drive the semi-truck to the back of Walgreens and unload the goods into the Walgreens, and then during the day he would sell. So he's doing that in the graveyard shift. During the day he would sell real estate. So he's going through my program, and so he's a blue-collar guy, a little rough around the edges, very nice guy. But so in week 1 of the program, he took 7 listings, okay? So we teach people to get on the phone, call for sale by owners, call expireds and canceled, cold call your sphere, asking for referrals, hold open houses, do all that stuff. So he's doing those things the way I just began teaching him in the very first week. Guy ends up taking 7 listings. So then in week 2, he's part-time again. He's blue-collar mentality, hard-working guy, gets on the phone, scares up business, takes another 7 listings. So in week 3, he's starting to get worn out a little bit. He takes 4 listings. Now in week 3, other agents that are in the program came up to me and they said, "Hey, Bob, you might not know this about that Fred, but those listings he's taken, they're overpriced." And I said, "Yeah, but you know what? He went on all those listing appointments. How many listing appointments did you go on last week?" And they said, "Oh, I'll be over here if you need me, Bob. Thanks very much." So the reality is the guy was a hard worker, not only in the semi-truck job, but that translated to the real estate job. Now, I know when I go to certain towns, like if I'm coaching in Newport Beach, or if I'm coaching in Scottsdale, Arizona, where I live, it's a big difference in the work ethic of the realtors than if I'm in El Paso, Texas. There's a big, big difference. So you've got to have a little talk with yourself. So how did Freddie end up? So in his first year, he ended up with 37 closings. It's not amazing, but it's pretty great. So he calls me in December, and he just said, "Hey, I wanted you to know how I ended up in my first year." And I said, how many closings did you do?" He says, "I ended up doing 37. I said, "Well, that's great." He ended up doing 50 listings. And then he said, "But I want to tell you about my month of December." He goes, "I did 28 listings in the month of December alone." Now that's a listing a day when you consider that Christmas is part of that, And he had opened 11 escrows and had 9 closings in the month of September. So he called me on like New Year's Eve. So what is that indispensable quality that Fred had that I would like for you to have and for all fearless agents to have? And that is this: he's willing to do what I tell him to do. He wasn't a guy who had a lot of creative ideas of his own. He had that blue-collar work ethic mentality. He had a job where he had to get sweaty, stay up late, put in long hours, and then he took that same work ethic and brought it into real estate, and that's what made all the difference for him. And he just did exactly what I told him to do. So the question is, would that be the case for you? If you're not having the kind of production that Fred had in his month of December, last month for you, is it possible that maybe you could embrace some of those qualities? So until the next video, I want you to focus on the basics. I want you to be committed. I want you to be obsessed. And I want you to get your skills, your schedule, and your systems right. And I want you to feel free to call me anytime at 480-385-8810. And let's see if you would be a good fit for Fearless Agent Coaching, because if you are, you're going to get rich. And if you're not, I'm still going to help you either way. So call me anytime, 480-385-8810. I want to make you a fearless agent. Thanks.